What is up, guys? How are you guys doing today? It's Eli5 back at y'all with another video. But before we start today's video, I have a quick question to ask you guys. What do you guys think about this NBA season thus far? Did anything in this season surprise you guys, or is it just another season that isn't as exciting as you wanted it to be? What do you guys think? Let me know. Other than that, let us start today's video. In today's video, we will be talking about how the Oklahoma City Thunder is playing this year. And just a fun fact, OKC is my favorite team in the NBA. I have been a fan of OKC ever since Kevin Durant has been on this team. I have started watching NBA basketball in 2014, and ever since, I have been following OKC the most. So talking about OKC for the first time ever in one of my videos will be fun for me to talk about. But anyways, enough rambling. OKC has been nothing but a success so far coming into this season. During the offseason, fans were expecting for this team to be the 15th seed, and if not the 15th seed, probably no less than the 12th seed or the 13th seed. Superstars Paul George and Russell Westbrook were traded away from this team, and that alone led people to think that OKC wasn't a playoff team anymore. But that was when they were wrong. When OKC traded away Paul George to the Los Angeles Clippers, OKC received Danilo Gallinari, which is a good overall shooter and a player to stretch the floor, and a rising star in gilgeous-alexander, who is looking like he is going to be a future all-star in the NBA someday. And to top it all off, they received the Clippers' first-round draft picks in 2022, 2024, and 2026, along with 2 first-round choices via Miami in the years 2021 and 2023. This was one of the few trades that made OKC the team that they are today. A few seconds ago, I did also mention that Russell Westbrook was traded away to another NBA team. When OKC traded away Russell Westbrook, this is what led fans to really think that OKC wasn't going to have what it takes to compete for a playoff spot for a very long time. They traded away Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul and first-round picks in the years 2024 and 2026, and they also received pick swaps in the years 2021 and 2025. Since Chris Paul is getting up there in age, he's 35 years old to be exact to this day, fans thought Chris Paul was too washed up to lead OKC as the first option, but I'll get more in depth with that topic later into this video. I'm not going to lie, as an OKC fan, I too expected OKC to rebuild this season as well because of the players we traded away. Of course, if you trade away players like Paul George and Russell Westbrook, it will lead fans to think that OKC will be a lottery team for a long time. Heck, even with those players, you could even make it out the first round of the playoffs. To be completely honest, OKC needed to make a change to the roster because the roster that they had before could not get past the first round to save their lives. But this season, it seems like all of these trades are starting to pay off. When the 2019 to 2020 season started, OKC did get off to a very slow start. OKC started off with a 5-10 record in the bottom 9 seeds in the Western Conference. But as the season went on, the team started to mesh together and they started winning basketball games. As I have mentioned before, some fans thought Chris Paul was not going to be able to lead the team at a good rate because his age was going to get the best of him. But he is clearly proving some of those fans wrong. Currently, Chris Paul is averaging 17.5 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, and 6.7 assists per game on 48% field goal percentage and 36.5 3-point percentage. These aren't the best stats, but sometimes stats lie. Currently, Chris Paul is the leading scorer in the clutch moments, and he is the reason why OKC is winning crucial games in the long run. And I'm going to be completely honest, it seems like ever since Westbrook and Paul George got traded away from OKC, OKC is playing more like a team with Chris Paul being the first option, and they are playing less hero ball. They had way more ball movement, and they are finding the best shot possible rather than chucking up shots that aren't the best shot selection. Just a quick little fun fact, looking back at the years 2016 to 2019, OKC has been ranked 30th, which is last place in assists as a team, with Russell Westbrook on the team. But the moment Russell Westbrook gets traded away from OKC, OKC is ranked much higher for assists as a team. I really don't know if that's a coincidence or not. Another huge factor towards OKC's success this year is young rising star Gilgeous-Alexander. Overshadowed by Luka Doncic and Trae Young last season, which at the time were both rookies like Shea, he was one of the rookies that wasn't receiving as much recognition as Trae Young and Luka was getting. Yes, he was still being talked about, but not as much as those other rookies that I've just mentioned. Gilgeous-Alexander is a masterpiece. He can shoot, he can drive, he can play make, and he's able to create his own shot. for this OKC team, he has been, in my opinion, one of the key pieces as to why this team has been doing so well. For the season, he is averaging 19.4 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists per game on 46.4 field goal percentage and 34.7 3-point percentage. All of which are good numbers. Not the best, but numbers good enough to win basketball games. There aren't any stars on this team that need the ball in their hands in order to be productive, and honestly, that is the best way to win basketball games. Ball movement is the most effective way to win games, and that is something that OKC didn't have the last few years. Another player that has been very good for this OKC team is six-man Dennis Schroeder. Since last year, he has been very productive coming off the bench, but this year he is having a way better season. Ever since Schroeder has been on the Atlanta Hawks, he was always a good player to have on a basketball team, and he continues to prove that point till this day. Fans are seeing what Dennis Schroeder is able to do on the floor, and some of these fans are going out of their way to say that he should be a candidate to win Sixth Man of the Year, and in my opinion, he truly deserves it. Watching OKC this season, I don't think Schroeder has ever had a game where he played bad. He probably did, but I've never seen it. That means that he doesn't have a lot of those bad games. Consistency is a main thing that an NBA team values out of a player, and that is what Schroeder has been for OKC. He's averaging 19 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game on 47% field goal percentage and 38.4 3-point percentage. And just a quick reminder, as a point guard, 47% field goal percentage is very good, and that is why Dennis Schroeder has been a very good player for OKC. And let's not forget about Danilo Gallinari and Steven Adams. Gallinari, speaking of which, just had probably his best season of his career on the Los Angeles Clippers last season, and he is still producing at an effective rate, taking a back seat to Chris Paul this season. Steven Adams is a monster down in the paint. He is able to grab a lot of rebounds and able to provide OKC with plenty of second chance possessions. Hustle is very important in order to win games in basketball, and Steven Adams crashing rebounds is an example of that. Nerlens Noel also provides this team with lots of hustle, and he gives this team the energy needed at all times. This team is just an all-around good team that has a lot of players that is able to produce at a high effective rate. The only bad thing about this team are some of the other players on this team's roster. OKC does have some players like Terrence Ferguson and Mike Muscala that just doesn't provide this team with a lot. As an OKC fan, I have always hated Terrence Ferguson. There are a lot of games where Terrence Ferguson is just in the game not doing anything at all. He usually finishes the game with a lot of minutes but with 0 points and a couple of rebounds and assists. Mike Muscala is just a player that I feel like OKC picked up to fill up roster space. To conclude, OKC is having a very surprising season. Everything with this team is there. They have great chemistry, great talent, and to top it all off, they are sitting with a 36-22 record as the 6th seed in the Western Conference. To add on, they are this good of a team, and they still have a buttload of future first-round picks that is able to make this team way better than what it is now. I can honestly see this team being a contender in a few years. What do you guys think? Are you guys surprised of OKC's performance? They are really surprising NBA fans this season, and it is honestly great to watch being a fan of this team. I probably missed some things about what is making this team do so well, but you guys should get the point of why this team is so good. Other than that, that will conclude the video. And what record do you guys think OKC will finish this season off with? But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Have a great night. Peace.